Hey, what's up, guys? Today, in this video, we are going to look at how we can handle authentication in our tests. So, let me go to my previous branch, which is video 2. I'll check out that branch. And if you remember the code there, we only had routes which were directly available without any authentication, correct? Which means I can go to this particular URL and add a video. I can go to this particular URL and I can see all the videos which are there in the application, which is really not something which we want, right? So we want to have some kind of authentication which enables us to ensure that any user accessing this API has some kind of token which can be authenticated. And in our case, we will be using Sanctum. So the typical flow is that you send a bearer token in the headers, which is called authentication token, and that is provided by Sanctum when you log in. Now, what changes I have done to accommodate the authentication in our API and how we are going to handle it in the test? So let's first look at our api.php. In api.php, I have added this middleware which is auth Sanctum. By this, what I am doing is telling Laravel that any route inside this group will need authentication through Sanctum. So obviously, I have installed Sanctum in my project, and the installation for Sanctum is quite simple. After you have done Composer install, you need to run the you know vendor publish so that you get a configuration file, which is, where is it, sanctum.php. Okay, I haven't done any change in this configuration file because typically I have seen that we can use it out of the box. The only thing which I have done is in the user model, I have gone ahead and added this has API tokens. This is the trait which is required for the entire authentication business, and this trait has a function which is create token. This function is going to be called when a user is logging in and the token is generated for that particular user, right? So this is how you generate a token for a user and you send it back. Okay, but anyways, this is the internals of how the Sanctum will work in our application. But what we have done so far is added this middleware, added this trait in our user model. And then what I have done, again, I will show you the previous version and the latest version is, if we go to create video test, okay, all the functions which we have, all the tests, I would say, has this piece added into it. This acting as. This acting as is a function which expects a user context. And what it does is creates the API call with the user's guard. And that's why suddenly you will have all the URLs getting the authorization tokens and everything, which is typically done in an API call. Okay, so you can see I have the user context in here. It returns video in response. I have added this here because all our routes are actually now behind login. And at any point, so for example, let me do this. It creates a new video, right? I will copy this code and let's just say I have uh, so I'm running this test, which is it creates a video. And if for some reason I remove this and run this test again, you will see it says the table is empty. And the table is primarily empty because if we die dump, okay, no, not like this. If we now execute the code, we will see that the status code is coming as 401, which means it's an unauthorized request. And that's the beauty, you see. So if I again add this, so acting as $user, and now if I run that code, it gives me a 4201, which is exactly what we wanted, right? So this is how we can have our API with Sanctum running, and the tests will be able to handle those using this acting as. That's why I think that whatever comes by default with the test cases of Laravel, it is so easy to use that you really don't need to think too much about what needs to happen. And the only thing now which we will ideally like to change is the fact that, if you remember, let me go to my controller, video controller, store method. You can see this is the user ID. And let us write a test case which will fail initially for us to understand that there is a problem in our code, and then we will fix it. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to assert that the video ID, or rather the user ID, which is saved in the video table, is the actual logged in user. So first we will create a few users using factory, and then we will have one user which we are going to use to create a user, or rather, sorry, create a video. So now the rest of the code which we can use is, I'll copy this piece because this is anyways passing. URL is also required. I'll just copy this. Okay. And so now the only addition to this test is that the user underscore ID should be equal to $user ID. Okay. And the reason I have created this 5 users is I know that my video controller has one hard coded, and if I create the first user, it will typically pass. And to randomize it, what I have done is I have created 5 users. I can keep it a random number as well. But then I created the user who is going to log in. This user acting as means now I am making an API call as this logged in user, and then I am making that API call. And now if I execute this test, ideally we should fail in this particular one. Okay, let's execute it. Obviously it fails, and it fails because it doesn't see user ID 6 in the output. Our user ID is 1. Now what to do? That's very simple. I guess every one of you might be already knowing what was the code required here. So no rocket science. I just add this, come to my terminal again, sorry. And if I now run, we have a passing test. So which means now our code is working properly and the tests are able to justify that. I think this is an important concept for testing to understand, that how do we authenticate ourselves as a user while we are making these API calls in our test. And now one thing which you can consider writing a test is, let's say that a user should get a 401 status code when he is hitting any of these URLs. But there is a belief that we should be testing our business logic and not the framework. What I mean by that is, I can already see that the APIs are inside my middleware. I can make a decision. I can make a decision that I don't think I am that kind of a person who will make a mistake, that I will move these routes out of this group. And hence, I may choose not to add those tests. Or you can say that, okay, no, if by mistake someone really does that kind of a serious bug, introduce such kind of a serious bug, then we need to be able to capture it, and hence we should do a test for that. So what you can then do is write certain tests which are, for example, on the video. I think we have a video listing, if I'm not wrong, video listing test. You should have one test which asserts that if I am not a logged in user, it gives me a 401, something of the sort like. So in here, I can copy most of the code. For example, let me see. Obviously, I don't want to do acting as, because then what's the point of testing? So I have a situation here where I'm making an AJAX call without logging in, and then I will do, I'll assert that the status code is coming as 401. So if I now run all my test cases, I have a shortcut for that, which is PU. all my test cases are passing, which means this is also passing. And we can say that yes, this is covered. I can add a similar test for the video create video test as well. But yeah, it's up to you whether you want to test the framework or not. I may choose not to do that. Hope these concepts are clear to you. If you like this video, do click on the thumbs up icon, and yes, don't forget to subscribe to my channel.